The New Orleans Pelicans continued to rise in the ranks, winning 6 of their last 7 games. And over this stretch, Zion Williamson has been extremely productive and efficient on the court. In this video, we're going to do a deep dive on Zion's film and stats to see exactly how he's doing it. Now, obviously, the foundation for Zion's game lays with his ability to put pressure on the rim. So far this year, Zion is attempting 13 shot attempts at the rim per game, which is the highest across the league. Physically, Zion is one of the most dynamic and unique athletes in the history of the NBA, having the build of an NFL defensive lineman while also possessing some ridiculous quick twitch explosiveness. Z's combination of strength and quickness is easily enough by itself to make him one of the best downhill scorers across the league.
Zion Williamson up and in.
Now for defenses, Zion is a constant matchup problem. First, his strength and low center of gravity allows him to play bully ball against pretty much all guards and wings across the league, as well as some centers. Watch him here lower and put his inside shoulder into Jared Allen's chest. Then Zion's going to come to a 2-foot stop and elevate into this finish. And then on top of that strength, Z also has the first step to blow past perimeter defenders. You'll see him here attack into this open space with a left to right crossover. And notice how quickly Zion changes his pace by first playing casual and upright with the ball to then drop his stance and dart into this drive. So that combination of strength and explosiveness makes Zion a wrecking ball when playing downhill. Being able to use that first step to create an attacking angle, to then use his strength to carve out a driving line all the way to the rim. You'll see Zion on this play do nothing super advanced off the dribble. He's just going to get to a simple rip through towards his right. And notice how low Z gets into this drive, which again allows him to attack through the defense's body, giving Z a clearer path to elevate towards the rim. Now, defenses are obviously well aware that Zion is primarily looking to put his head down and bulldoze towards the rim. But because Z possesses such a unique set of physical tools, there's pretty much no perfect way to guard him. We already saw what happens when defenders try to step up and meet Zion out beyond the 3. But if defenders decide to sit back and give Zion a cushion, that opens up a whole new set of problems. When defenders sit back and try to bait Z into jumpers, that allows him to use all this extra space to build up a head of steam and launch himself towards the basket. Notice on this play how the defense is pretty much ignoring Zion in the corner, but when Z is able to catch with all this space, that allows him to charge up and elevate towards the rim. Now, if Zion's going up against length or finishing in a crowded paint, that's when you'll typically see him rise up into these floaters and soft push shots. When putting the ball on the floor, Zion is obviously a very powerful and physical driver, but when getting into these finishes, Z also has soft touch around the basket. Look at this play. You'll see him first drop down into this left-hand drive, to then lower his shoulder and barrel through contact. And as Zion jumps up, notice how he has the body control to both maneuver the ball around the defense, to then put up this soft layup off the glass that dies at the rim. You can see more of that ridiculous touch and body control on this play, where Zion's going to lower his shoulder and step through contact, to then put up another soft finish that dies around the basket. And then Z also has the ability to sink these tough high arcing floaters, which again he loves to pull out to counter shot blockers. You'll see him on this play work his man across the paint in the post. And as Zion turns into his finish, notice how the weak side big slides over to eliminate his shot. But in response, watch how Z is going to adjust his finish to put up this soft floater over the defense. You'll see the Clippers here build up a wall in front of the basket, but watch how effortlessly Zion is going to cross the ball to his left and stride out into this high arcing runner across the paint.
Yeah, but he'll still get there. Didn't matter. Didn't matter.
Now the next thing we have to go over is Zion's ball handling. We've already seen how dynamic and explosive Z is as a downhill scorer, but when dropping down into these drives and slicing through gaps, Zion also has really good ball control, which pairs perfectly with his quickness and body control when attacking into gaps.
Z lowers the dribble. Gets it.
Watch him here transfer the ball to his strong left hand, then drop down into this drive. And when the defense cuts off Z's driving line, notice how quickly he's able to decelerate by sinking his weight down, to then transfer the ball behind, creating an attacking angle back towards his right. This is also one of Zion's go-to moves, where he initially attacks towards his right, and then gets to a simple spin move back towards his left. And again, what makes this move work is Zion's combination of body and ball control. You'll see him here get to this push cross towards his right. And notice how Z gets low and attacks the defense's body, which gives him the leverage to spin back across towards his left. Now, I think the most important part to Zion's ball handling is how he sets his drives up on the perimeter. When playing off the bounce, Z is great at using his footwork to pick up momentum. Notice here how Zion is going to transfer the ball between, then skip his feet up. And from this spot, watch him punch his left foot back, pushing himself into this drive. You'll see him hit the exact same move here, where Zion's going to again get to this left to right between, to again skip up and punch his left foot back, which shoots him downhill. And then Z can also use this type of footwork while handling the ball in transition. Watch how smoothly he pushes the ball to his right hand and skips off his left foot. Then notice how Zion is going to replant that left foot to explode into this drive.
In the West, 37 and 25, Zion.
And then Z also has some different counters to this move as well. Watch him again put the ball in his right hand, then skip up selling the right hand blow by. But watch how Zion is going to transfer the ball back between and explode back towards his left. I also think Zion this year has gotten much better at moving off the ball. Because defenses don't really respect Z as an outside shooter, they commonly have the man guarding him roaming off the ball, which can really disrupt the spacing of the Pelicans offense. But one way Zion can counter this is to cut into open space. On this play, you'll see the Clippers double team the ball. And notice how PJ Tucker is going to roam off of Zion and tag the big in the paint. So in response, Z is going to simply cut across towards the ball and set up an easy catch and finish. On this play, you'll see Herb Jones catch this pass rolling towards the basket. And notice how Zion in the left corner here is going to cut down towards the block while his man is being pulled towards the ball, which sets up another easy 2 points. Now, if I had to nitpick one thing about Zion's overall attacking and scoring game, it would have to be his right hand. When getting into finishes around the basket, Z is very clearly a left-hand dominant player. Now, for the most part, this doesn't really affect Zion's deep paint scoring, because he still has that cheat code strength and explosiveness. But I do think Zion's efficiency at the rim could be slightly higher, and Z adding right hand finishes would obviously add more depth to his finishing bag. Right here, you'll see Zion get into this right hand drive, and notice how he's able to bump his man off him and create a clear path to the rim. But watch how Z is going to turn his body and twist into this more difficult left hand finish. On this play, you'll again see Zion drop down into a drive going right, and as he comes to this 2-foot stop, notice how Zion has a pretty clear path to extend the ball out with his right hand, but he instead decides to wrap the ball under and force this left hand reverse layup. But regardless of all that, Zion is still one of the best downhill scorers across the league, and that scoring commands a lot of attention from the defense, which then opens up Zion's passing.
Here comes Ayton. Switch sides. Najee gets the triple.
It's a great read by Zion.
Now, as a playmaker, I wouldn't say Zion is the most advanced passer. He's not going to read or manipulate defenders 2 or 3 passes away. But because defenses commonly try to wall off Z by throwing multiple bodies at him, he's able to make these simple but effective passing reads that open up right in front of him. Like on this play, you'll see him here playing in isolation, and without committing to a drive, notice how much Zion is able to collapse the defense, opening up this easy swing pass in 3. Now here, you'll see Zion initiate a post-up, and without committing to a drive, notice how much attention Zion is pulling from these off-ball defenders, which allows his teammate to cut behind and get an easy catch and finish. And again, many of these reads are pretty straightforward, but I think Zion consistently being able to punish defenses who overcommit to him on the ball will be huge for his success in the postseason, because that will simply allow him to play in space, where he can then unleash all that ridiculous athleticism. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments who the kid should break down next. The kid's here.